What's up, guys? Sorry I didn't make a video last week. Between getting sick and starting a new semester of classes, I just wasn't able to make time for it. But now I figured out how I'm going to schedule my videos. I'm going to start making videos on the weekends as opposed to during the week. I was making them on Thursday because Thursday is statistically the best time to put up a YouTube video to get the most amount of views. But I'm just going to have to sacrifice that for my classes. And also, the subject of this video is bipolar disorder. And as somebody with bipolar disorder, that's actually a symptom of it. Because getting sick put me into a really, really dark mood, and I just was not able to come up with any ideas. And I spent a lot of time sleeping. But I'm feeling a lot better now. Lately, I've been downloading a bunch of music. I'm actually listening to a new Buddy Guy album that I downloaded, and that usually puts me in a better mood. So I'm just gonna get right into it. So I was originally screened for bipolar disorder in 2014 because I was told it was whenever I was in rehab for alcohol. There was a psychoanalyst there, and she told me I reminded her a lot of one of her cousins or nephews or something like that, and I had the personality traits of somebody with bipolar disorder, so she recommended that I get screened for it. But the problem is, whenever I was screened for it, they were asking me like particular symptoms of bipolar disorder, and I just wasn't able to understand what they were talking about because being in the Navy, I think what happened is because, you know, in the Navy you always go underway. I think my depressive and manic episodes they adjusted to my ship schedule, so whenever I'd be underway, I'd be depressed, and whenever I'd get back in port, I would go into my, you know, more manic, or in my case, I have bipolar 2 disorder. I would go into my hypomanic states where I'd be, you know, super energetic, super creative, and I would have all these ideas. But it was just hard for me to tell because, you know, for me, because I thought about it after my initial screening, my moods over the years have been either angry, depressed, or drunk. Those are my 3 moods. There's no, you know, good or bad. Because they were asking me specifically, you know, do you remember long periods of depression? Well, yeah. Every time I went underway. So I went through the screening and they couldn't find any. It was funny, they determined that I have hypomanic symptoms, but not depressive symptoms. So they just said, oh, you don't have any mental illness. And it was funny because the original reason I went to rehab for alcohol is because I was trying to figure out why I was having such, you know, problems with mood. You know, I thought maybe I have a mood disorder, but, you know, instead of just going directly for that, I did what the Navy kind of always pushes you towards and just went for, you know, the superficial issues such as drinking. But I mean, the comorbidity of, you know, drinking and mood disorders is very high, so that should have been obvious. But anyway, so eventually I was diagnosed, and this was recent. This was right after my birthday when I had my 2 major panic attack episodes, and I went to a psychologist, an American psychologist in Tokyo, and he told me what I never realized is irritability is actually a manic symptom. And, you know, I'll get into more of my relationship issues later on, but a lot of my relationship patterns showed manic and depressive cycles, especially because every time I've been through a breakup, except my last one actually, I went through a major period of depression, and I would get hyper focused on the relationship itself, you know, in the build up to the relationship. But yet again, I'm going to have to get into that more later on, because what I'm going to do now is run over the list of symptoms for bipolar disorder and how they relate to me and how they may relate to you. And you know, bipolar disorder is 2% of people have it, and it's a dominant trait as far as I know. So there's a high probability that if anyone in your family has it, you have it. So I'm going to run down the symptoms right now. Alright, I'm having a little trouble finding a straight up list of symptoms, but for me, having bipolar 2, I never go into full on mania, which is a good thing because mania is where, you know, that extreme of a cycle can cause serious problems. For me, I go hypomanic and I get very creative. If you look at, actually, an interesting fact, a reason they think Emily Dickinson, the poet, may have been bipolar was her productivity cycle. Because I know for me, if you look at my music, I made 5 albums, actually 4 albums over the course of 6 months, and I made a 5th one about slowly over the course of the next 6 months. So that shows clear, you know, hypomanic tendencies right there. Because I haven't really, other than videos, I haven't really created anything that heavy duty since then. And specifically, right when I started making music, I mean, this is the clearest indication of hypomania. I could barely sleep for about 36 hours because I just kept getting new ideas and I just kept making new songs, and I was able to make my first album in under a month. I mean, so that's how hypomania works. Alright, so I went on to health.com. So the first subtle symptom of bipolar disorder is hypomania, which I just told you about. But the next one is the inability to complete tasks, which has always been kind of a hallmark of my personality. But over the years, I've learned to, since I've always been aware of my inability to really regulate my emotions entirely, so I kind of cater to my good moods and I get as much done as I can during the good moods, because I know I'm going to go into a depressive cycle and not be able to finish anything. I mean, then obviously depression, because, you know, everyone knows about that. And I've spent a good amount of my life, you know, being in toxic relationships, which has caused me to be depressed, which was a big reason why I didn't think bipolar initially, because every time I've been into a depression, I've been triggered by something, particularly a relationship. But I didn't realize that's actually a lot of the things that happen in bipolar disorder actually are triggered by something external. That's how it's really similar to borderline personality disorder, because the hallmark is a lack of emotional regulation, and you know that's goes along with bipolar disorder. All right, then the next symptom is irritability, and as I was saying before, that was a clear indication that I have upcycles or mixed mania, which is part of bipolar disorder, because I've been known to actually break dates with people, or plans with people, just because I felt extremely irritable and I didn't want to be around people during that time, because I didn't want to take out my irritability on other people. And I mean, that's why a lot of people describe me as moody, and I describe myself as moody, because when I'm in my irritable moods, I'm just a complete dickhead, so no one wants to be around that. So, and in particular with both my irritability and my depression, I've had to explain to people that they're not the ones causing it. It's in my own head, and I just need to be alone at that time. But that's hard for a lot of people to handle and deal with. So obviously that's caused a lot of problems in relationships. And the next one's kind of funny, because if you've been paying attention, rapid speech has been very common in this video, and that is another common trait of bipolar disorder. And anybody that knows me is I am very prone to rapid speech. And I mean, when I was applying to some English teaching jobs, that's one of the first things they told me, is I talk extremely fast, and it's actually kind of intimidating. So I mean, shit, I've been told that since I was a kid. My dad used to tell me to stop talking so fast because he's hard of hearing. And for me, I get really excited when I start talking about something that I'm interested in. So it's just hard for me to slow down. And especially when I'm hypomanic, I just talk a mile a minute about the things I'm working on, and I just can't stop. All right, another symptom is trouble at work. And in a big way, my disorder has interfered with trouble at work, but it's caused trouble at work, but it's never caused me to show up late to work. That's the funny thing. I mean, I've shown up late to work because of drinking, which can be attributed to bipolar disorder, but it was never directly because of my moods. I mean, we're gonna open up a can of worms here, but being in the Navy, you're not always treated fairly, so I can't really be blamed entirely for my mood swings and my my hypervigilance and I guess my adult conduct disorder. So, but that's another symptom of it. All right, the next symptom is alcohol or drug abuse, and bam, I've been to rehab. Therefore, alcohol abuse is a very obvious trait that I have, because for me, since I've always experienced my emotions in extremes, my normal state is kind of numb, anxious, and depressed. Or like I was saying before, depressed, angry, or drunk. So I would drink in order to regulate my emotions and bring me to a place where I just felt generally good. So I'm getting better about not doing that now. And I brought my drinking down to a cool medium. So that's another trait that I have, and that may be a trait that you have if you have bipolar disorder. All right, the next symptom is erratic behavior, namely inflated self-esteem. And I can relate to that because honestly, my self-esteem itself goes up and down with my mood swings and my extremes of emotions. So I mean, that's something that's been very consistent. My self-esteem has always been very, very unstable, and it wasn't until I started working on music and YouTube videos, honestly, that I started to feel better. So I could definitely relate to that symptom. All right, the next one is sleep problems, and I do have this symptom, but the problem is, for me, a lot of it was related to drinking, and over the past few years, because of sleep apnea. I mean, I sleep with the breathing machine, so my sleep problems would be more related to actual physiological problems. But the drinking itself could contribute to sleeping problems, so yeah, I can relate to this symptom as well. And then the next symptom is a flight of ideas, which I honestly think is what caused my panic attack. My first initial, well, not my first panic attack. I've been having panic attacks since I was in middle school, but my first hardcore panic attack, because I think I'm so used to my mind racing that stressful situations actually relax me. So the flight of ideas could have actually caused the panic attack. Because actually I watched a video about a news reporter that had a panic attack in his early 40s whenever his life was actually going good because of an actual lack of stress, because he was such a hard charger for so long. And being in the military with an undiagnosed bipolar disorder could have definitely caused the same type of situation. So I can relate to that symptom as well. All right, so that's the last of the symptoms. That wasn't as concrete as I wanted of a list of symptoms, but I do what I can. I'm just a man. Honestly, I try to keep this video a little bit more lighthearted than my last one about my sister, because I'm not trying to make people feel like shit every day. So honestly, I hope the video turned out kind of okay, because I feel like it didn't, but I'm hoping for the best. So as always, if you like my video, subscribe. If you like my music, buy it. And if you hate me, tell everybody. Out.
Pizza boy, pizza. Pizza for pizza. Pizza boy, pizza. Pizza boy, pizza. Pizza boy, pizza. Pizza boy, pizza.